So first of all, I will create a template using the keyword template, and then I will use these symbols, and inside these symbols I will use the keyword type name, and then I will just write the template variable here. So instead of using type name keyword, you can also use class. This is an alternative, but we're going to use type name in our example. So remember that we are not going to use a semicolon here. So let's now define our function. So our function is sum, and it takes two values, let's say x comma y, and since we don't know the data type of these two variables, I will write t in front of them, because we will pass the data type to using the variable t, and the output, or you can say the return value, will also be t. So let's now write the body of our function. So our function will simply return x plus y. So this is how a simple example of a template, how it will work. So we will provide, or you can say we will pass the data type at the time of function call. So I will do the function call here. So let's suppose I want to pass integer values to this function sum. So I will write it like this. So within these two symbols, I will write the data type, and this data type will get passed to the t variable, and the t variable will get replaced with int, and so the function will become like this. It will become like int sum, int x, int y, and x plus y. So it will return the integer value, and now we are going to pass the variables to the function. Let's suppose this is 2, 3, and there should be no space within them. So this is a simple example of a function template. So let's now write another function sum to test it with some float value. So I will write a 2.34 comma 5.46 or 43. So this is an example of a template. So when you are writing this line, the compiler will generate a function, and that function will look like this. It will look like integer. You will just replace t with int. So the compiler will just replace the t variable with int, and it will generate a function with using this value. And when you will declare this line, then the compiler will generate another function which has the value, the variable t variable, as float. So let's now run this program and see how it works. So you can see here the output is 5 and 7.77. So if I just want to write it in a different line, I will use end l keyword, and I will run it again to see. So now you can see that the answer is 5 and 7.77, which is the float value. So you can see, we have seen here how we can just write a function sum, and we can operate this function using different data types by simply passing the data type at the time of function call. And the compiler will just generate a function using the integer parameter, and when you will write this line, the compiler will generate another function with the float variable. So this function sum will have two occurrences, or you can say it is expanded into two parts, and one of them will contain integer as an input and return data type, but the second one will get float as the data type.